Okay, let's try an exercise. Picture yourself maybe 65 years old, looking back.
Okay.
Think about the people you started out with, way back at 25, full of energy, plans. Well, according to the source we're looking at today, Life MotiVision, out of every 10 of those people, only one is actually wealthy by 65.
Just 1 out of 10. Wow.
Yeah, and 4, they're okay, financially stable, but 5 of them,
The other half.
the other half are still working. Not because they want to, but because they have to. Still worrying about bills, an unexpected repair feels like a total disaster, just scraping by.
And that constant stress.
Exactly, and always that little voice, right? If only I'd managed money differently. If only I'd started sooner.
That statistic, it really does hit hard. It captures that fear, doesn't it? That deep anxiety so many people carry about their financial future.
Yeah.
It's the if only made real.
It really is. And it makes you ask yourself, well, which group are you heading towards? That's exactly the kind of feeling our source material today tackled.
Life MotiVision.
Yeah, from the Life MotiVision channel. We're focusing on their piece video 4, Controlling Your Finances. It's actually the last part of a series they did called Control Yourself.
Okay.
And their whole thing, their mission really, is about turning that fear, that financial anxiety, into fuel. Turning uncertainty into, action.
So they see motivation as coming from understanding those anxieties first.
Precisely. Understanding what holds you back and then using wisdom, inspiration, practical stuff to overcome it. Yeah. Especially with money.
And they make a really strong point early on, don't they?
Yeah.
That if your finances feel chaotic, it just spills over.
Oh, totally. It makes finding peace or, feeling powerful in other parts of your life almost impossible. They position financial control as fundamental, a non-negotiable starting point.
Makes sense. If you're constantly worried about money, it's hard to focus elsewhere.
Absolutely. So that's our goal today, to unpack what Life MotiVision says about getting that control and why they think it's so key to that bigger picture of peace and power. Okay, so they use a story to illustrate this, which is often helpful, right?
Yeah, stories make it stick. So what's the situation they describe?
They talk about someone named Sarah, and, on the surface, successful, good job, decent income.
Looked like she had it together.
Exactly. But inside, she felt this constant kind of private shame about money, always stressed. Paycheck would come in and poof, gone in days.
Familiar story for many.
For sure. The main bills got paid, yeah. But then it was all the little things. The takeout because she was too tired to cook, the impulse buys online after a rough day at work, maybe gadgets she didn't really end up using. Does that sound familiar at all?
Oh, incredibly common. That feeling that money just evaporates, even when you think you should have enough. It's not about being destitute. It's that lack of control, feeling powerless over where it's going.
That's it, exactly. Sarah would get to the end of the month, look at her bank balance, and just feel this dread. Where did it all go?
Even though, deep down,
she knew it was those little unplanned leaks adding up. And saving, forget it. That felt totally unrealistic. Like something for later, a later that just never seemed to show up.
And investing probably felt even more out of reach.
Oh, yeah. Like some complicated thing for Wall Street types, right? Way too complex, too risky. So the future, it just felt like this looming cloud, thinking about retirement or even just like the car needing a big repair would just send her into a panic.
Yeah.
So Life MotiVision uses Sarah as that perfect stand-in for one of those 5 people, heading towards 65, just filled with worry, even though she had the potential to be secure.
And that kind of background hum of financial stress that Life MotiVision describes, it's just exhausting. It drains your mental energy, limits your choices.
Makes you reactive.
Exactly. Reacting instead of acting intentionally. That's the feeling they want to help people transform.
And look, if Sarah's story resonates with you, the source is really clear. You are definitely not alone. But, and this is key, it doesn't have to stay that way.
All right, there's a path out.
Yeah. And here's where Life MotiVision gets really practical. The change for Sarah, moving from that constant anxiety to building some security, it wasn't luck, it wasn't some magic bullet.
No lottery win.
No. The source says it was a fundamental mindset shift, plus committing to 3 core principles they lay out.
Okay, so this is the pivot point. Moving from reactive to intentional. Facing the fear and starting the process. What are the principles?
First up, financial discipline. And they're careful how they frame this. It's not about starving yourself or never having fun.
Not deprivation.
No, it's about empowerment through knowing where your money is actually going. So Sarah started with the absolute first step, Life MotiVision recommends. She tracked everything, every single penny, for a whole month.
which can be an eye-opener, sometimes a painful one.
Oh, yeah. Life MotiVision points that out. Seeing the cost of those daily coffees add up, the streaming services maybe you forgot you even had, the impulse stuff, seeing it in black and white, confronting.
Yeah.
But absolutely essential.
Because, as Life MotiVision puts it, you just cannot control what you aren't aware of. Tracking gives you that awareness. It's like looking in the mirror before you can decide to change your hair.
Great analogy. So what comes after that awareness?
Yeah, what's next?
Well, once she had that clear picture, she put a structure in place. They recommend the 50-30-20 rule. Heard of that?
Simple but effective. 50% needs, 30% wants, 20% savings debt.
That's the one. 50% for the essential rent, utilities, food, 30% for once going out, hobbies, basically enjoying life, which Life MotiVision says is important too. And then that crucial 20% non-negotiable, straight towards savings and clearing any high-interest debt first.
And the point wasn't suddenly having more money overnight.
Not at all. It was about telling her existing money where to go, purposefully, instead of just wondering where it went at the end of the month.
And Life MotiVision really underscores a key idea here. Financial discipline isn't about having lots of money, but about controlling the money you have. It's about taking charge, being intentional, no matter your income.
Shifting from passenger to driver. Love that. Okay, second principle, purposeful saving.
All right. How did that change for Sarah?
Well, before, saving meant, whatever crumbs were left over at month's end.
Which was usually
Nothing, after all the unplanned spending. So Life MotiVision says, flip that script completely. Pay yourself first.
Ah, the classic advice.
Yeah, so the moment her paycheck landed, bam, a set amount automatically transferred to a separate savings account before she could even think about spending it.
Automation is key there, isn't it? Life MotiVision really pushes that. Takes the willpower out of the equation each payday, makes that 20% or whatever your target is, happen automatically.
Definitely. And doing that let her build up that emergency fund first. That buffer against life's unexpected stuff, car breaks down, whatever. That alone removes a huge chunk of anxiety.
Oh, massive.
And then she started saving for specific things that actually motivated her. Not just vague saving, but, saving for a trip or a down payment, something tangible.
Because, and I think the source puts this beautifully, saving isn't about denying yourself today, but about creating more choices for yourself tomorrow. It's building future freedom.
Yeah, freedom to say yes to things you want and no to things you don't. Okay, third principle, investing for the future.
This is often the scariest one for people.
Totally. Felt that way for Sarah, too, and I bet for a lot of people listening. But Life MotiVision tackles this head on. They try to demystify it. Show that investing isn't some, secret code only finance gurus understand.
It's accessible.
It can be, and it starts small, but consistently. That's the key.
Yeah.
They talk about compound interest, basically. Your money making money, and then that money making more money. The snowball effect.
Right. And Life MotiVision stresses, you don't need a big pile of cash to begin. Consistency and, crucially, time are the real levers. Compound interest needs time to work its magic. The analogy they use is great. Time is the most valuable asset in investing. The tree planted today will provide shade and fruit in the future. It forces that long-term view.
Yeah, it's not get rich quick. It's get secure slowly but surely. And, Life MotiVision is realistic. They mentioned Sarah's path wasn't perfectly smooth.
Life happens.
Exactly. There were slip-ups, times old habits popped up. But with each conscious choice she made, each month she generally stuck to her plan, she physically felt that weight lifting off her shoulders.
The anxiety started to fade.
Yeah, that feeling of being out of control. It was replaced by this growing sense of, peace and power. She wasn't just reacting anymore. She was directing her money, building that foundation Life MotiVision talks about.
She was actively moving herself out of that group of 5 worried people
towards the stable 4, maybe even aiming for that wealthy one eventually.
And that's really the core message Life MotiVision wants you to grasp, isn't it? That you have that power. It's not about instant perfection. It's about committing to progress.
Making that choice.
Making the choice to face the fears, use the practical wisdom and inspiration they offer, and just start taking action.
So wrapping this up, what does this deep dive into Life MotiVision's approach mean for you listening right now?
Well, if any of this struck a chord, if you're tired of the worry and ready to build a more secure future.
More freedom.
More freedom, yeah. Life MotiVision invites you to check out their channel, join their community for more stuff like this. Their call to action is pretty direct. Hit subscribe, Click the notification bell. Get more of that inspiration and those practical steps.
And they offer a really concrete first step, don't they? The same one Sarah took.
They do. The challenge is, for the next 30 days, just track your spending. That's it. No judgment needed yet, just observe.
It sounds almost too simple.
Right. But the source presents it as the catalyst, that foundational awareness you need before any real change can happen.
Gotta know where you are before you can plan where you're going.
Exactly. So this deep dive concludes our look at the Control Yourself series from Life MotiVision, zeroing in on finances. But, like they say at the end of their video, this isn't really an ending. No, it's presented as just the beginning of your journey to a more empowered life.
Take this wisdom, find what inspires you in it,
And go build the future you deserve.